Yo, people, what is good? Welcome back to my channel. It's good to see you lot back. Sorry for my lateness. I hope you're all having a good bank holiday weekend. Honestly, coming back on these streams and smiling, man, it's an underrated feeling, man. And I really hope that it can continue. It's early days, but hey ho. Anyway, we're here to talk about Spurs and our recent result away to Bournemouth. Obviously, Spurs won the game 2-0. Another clean sheet, second successive clean sheet for us. First one last week against United, or 2 weeks ago against United. And then, of course, the second in succession this recent weekend against Bournemouth. 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday as well. And we don't normally do quite well in the 12:30 kickoff early on, man. And you got all the eyes watching us as well. Spurs being put on the big screen, on the jumbo screen. It's a bit techie if I'm going on off last season's evidence. But we won the game 2-1 or 2-0, sorry. I don't know why I keep saying 2-1. We won the game 2-0. And yeah, man, we're just going to quickly talk about that today. We're going to talk about starting lineups as per, game review, positives and negatives. And then I'm going to let you get back to your bank holiday Monday. I really hope everyone's had a good weekend so far, and I really hope that you guys have got good things planned today. Make sure you make the most of it before you get back into work. And before we get into the topic at hand, or the topics at hand, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn your post notifications on so you know when I'm going live. As I said, I'm sticking to my cause. 1 p.m. every Monday for the foreseeable until I get my uploads back in order. 1 p.m. every Monday for the post-match reviews and any other business. And Fridays, 1 p.m. will be the pre-match reviews as well. So yeah, let's get into it, man. 2 minutes in, I've been babbling and babbling and babbling. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. So the starting 11, I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. I'm happy that he kept it unchanged. Very, very happy that he kept it unchanged. I really wanted Pedro Porro to start, as I mentioned in my pre-match review or pre-match preview. Sorry, I wanted the midfield unchanged, but obviously there was that issue with Maddison from the Man United game, so there was a bit of uncertainty on whether he would start. But very happy that he came through unscathed and he was able to start the game. And I feel like the rest of the team picked itself, really. So I'm not really going to spend too much time talking about that, right? It's good to have momentum. It's good to be able to feel the same team over and over again, right? They build up a rhythm, they build up a chemistry, and you can see that happening as we talk through the rest of the game. You can see that happening, right? In the midfield, in the defense, not so much in the attack, but we'll get onto that as well. We'll get onto that as well. So yeah, like lineups was calm, man. Yeah, lineups was calm. Didn't really have anything more to say on the lineups. The game review now. The game review. So, sorry, I had to drink some water. Game review was interesting because I knew Bournemouth would go for it, right? But I'm used to Bournemouth like picking their moments, right? Picking their moments and being a bit compact when they're playing Spurs, right? But that was the Bournemouth of last season. Obviously, that's not the Bournemouth of this season under Areola. I think that's how you say his name. Areola, yeah. Obviously, he came with a decent reputation in his previous jobs, and it's clear to see what he was trying to do and what he's still trying to do with Bournemouth. He wants them to be much more aggressive. He wants them to be a high-pressing team, and true to his style, that's what they did in the first half against us. I felt that they came out and they really wanted to put a lot of pressure on us straight away. You could see it, very, very high press. You saw Maddison dropping deep to get the ball, sometimes even popping up in our own box as well to get the game going. Of course, Basuma and Sarr contributing as well. Pedro Porro responsible and build up as well. So, like they were pressing high. They were pressing high. I felt like they were trying to converge on Mickey a couple of times as well when he was when he was receiving the ball on the left hand side. But I think Spurs did quite well, man. I think we did quite well in navigating our way out of their press, right? Because they wanted to put pressure on us, and we were able to play our way through it. And once we played our way through it, there were gaps that started to appear in the Bournemouth shape, as we saw, right? I felt like once we were able to actually put our foot down and start moving the ball around, you saw some really good patterns of play. You saw us being able to move the ball from right to left. You saw us being able to sort of enter Bournemouth's half with relative ease as well. And I think one of the good things as well about the way we play now as well, and the profile players that we have, especially in the midfield, is that when teams press us high, right, and they press us man to man, etc., in Basuma and Maddison's case, you run the risk of getting spun. Like Basuma, I know he lost the ball maybe like once or twice, and one time it led to Bournemouth getting off a decent attempt at goal. But for the most part, this guy was really good again, and he's just so press resistant. Like you can't really get the ball off these guys. If you try and press too hard, too aggressively, they'll just spin you and leave you in your wake. They'll spin you, bro. Maddison did it a couple times. Biss did it a couple times. Sarr, Destiny. Like we've got, all of a sudden, we've added guys into the team who are comfortable with the ball under pressure and can get out of that pressure and can get Spurs further up the pitch. And that is a breath of fresh air, man. That was one of many good things I saw in the actual game in terms of how we played. I felt like we were able to keep the ball relatively well in the first half, and I felt that we were able to construct some really good chances. Of course, the first chance that we created, I feel like was a nice bit of play on the right hand side, and it culminated in Maddison getting the ball inside the box and taking a shot on the swivel on his left foot, got deflected for a corner, but that was a sign of things to come. That was a sign of things to come. And I feel like the actual goal we scored, again, just symptomatic of the good things you're seeing about Spurs right now. Yeah, you saw the ball get played into Basuma, I think it might have been from Pedro Porro or from Romero, someone on the right-hand side. The ball gets played into Basuma. And like I said earlier on, with the whole not getting too tight on players like Basuma, because you run the risk of getting spun. Basuma absolutely spun. I can't remember which player it was. Spun him out of his socks with a brilliant first touch, gets away from the player, dribbles, gives the ball to Pape Matar Sarr, and so many good things in this sequence, so many good things in this goal, right? The fact that our number 6 receives the ball with an opposing player converging on him, and he's able to spin out of pressure. And not only is he able to spin out of pressure, he's able to dribble forward, right? License to dribble forward and give the ball to our right-sided midfielder who has the intelligence to spot our left-sided midfielder making a run into the box and poke a nice, delicate ball through into Bournemouth's box, and Maddison, first time finish, 1-0 Spurs. Like that is a really good team goal. Really, really good team goal. And you can tell already that these guys are working their socks off when it comes to Ange's requirements in training. You can tell that. And the more they continue to do it, the more you're going to see a chemistry, not just in our midfield, but in our defense and hopefully in our attack. Right? It was a really good team goal. And the fact that all 3 midfielders were involved, fantastic to see. And James Maddison off the mark as per in his Premier League stint so far, right? When I say as per, I mean this is a guy who's never been shy to score goals. We bought him for this exact reason. Everything we bought this guy for, he's shown it in his first 3 games. Creativity, playmaking, trickery, ball mastery, right? Helping Spurs control games of football, X factor and goals, right? And now he scored his first goal off the mark for the season. So yeah, man, really good way to start the game. And I'm happy for James Maddison as well, because I'll get onto Maddison later, but bruv, the guy is he's just unreal, man. He's just unreal. And it didn't stop there, man. We were playing some good ball, man. We were playing some really good football. I think in the first half again, Maddison spins his opponent, drives with the ball into Bournemouth's half, drives, picks up, picks his head up, sees Richarlison making a run on the right hand side, threads a really good ball into Richarlison. Richarlison actually does quite well to chop the oncoming defender, and he's bearing down that goal, and you're just thinking, bruv, you have to score. You just have to score. You have to score that. And somehow he didn't score. Just made a complete mess of it. And to be honest, he was an absolute mess for the entire game. Like, he really was. Just stunk out the joint, man. I'll talk on Richardson in a second, but really, really on a game where it was hard to look bad in the Spurs side, he really stood head above shoulders in that, right? He was awful, man. Absolutely awful. But yeah, man, it wasn't even just the first half as well, even the second half, right? The second half, obviously, sorry, before I get on the second half, even first half again, we had the chance from Pape Matar Sarr as well after we went 1-0 up. Really good, well-constructed move on the left-hand side, and Sarr, I think he should have taken a shot first time, but he didn't. Fine, poked it straight at the keeper. Yeah, man, it was good. I can't lie. Like, heading into that game, heading into that half time, right? I was just thinking, yeah, like, we've been good here. We're good value for this win. Nothing too heavy. Second half now started off again. Some good bits and pieces of play again. Richarlison. Second half, really good corner from Maddison. Header that you really should get on target. I'm sorry, really should get that header on target, and misses it just wide. But there were more chances to come. Spurs were good, right? But the problem with Spurs is we started to tire in the second half, and Bournemouth grew into the game. They really did, and I felt like there was a spell in the second half where we were riding the storm a little bit. I felt like the likes of Semenyo was bullying like Sarr and Bissouma off the ball, helping Bournemouth to get further up the pitch, getting more shots at goal. I remember there was an opportunity where Dom Solanke was on the left-hand side and he flashed the ball across the face of our goal. And luckily, Mickey was there to sort of get it out of there. Like, there was a couple of things, right? There were a couple of alarm bells that should be ringing in any Spurs fan and our manager's head that, yo, this team are getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to scoring. And in years gone by, not so much with Jose, because Jose was actually quite quick, quite good at making lots of changes. It's just his game plan was just awful, right? But with Nuno, and especially with Antonio Conte, it took ages, absolutely ages, to make changes. Managers that would just stand there. Conte, I don't know what he was playing at last season. He would just stand there. The game is slipping slowly and slowly away from you, and you're just standing there. You're just watching it get away from you, and you don't want to make no changes, right? Not Ange Postecoglou. I spoke on the first game when we drew 2-2 at Brentford, when I mentioned maybe next time he could bring on the likes of Perisic and Solomon sooner. Well, this game, Sarr was starting to tire, right? Richarlison, as I mentioned, was having a stinker. Bournemouth were getting back into the game. The manager can see that these are not positive signs. So what does he do? He makes two substitutions. 1 second. Let me see what minutes. He made, two substitutions on the 59th and 60th minute, respectively. You're 1-0 up, and you're the one that's making substitutions, right? You're the one that's making two substitutions on the 59th and 60th minute. Why? Because you want to get back control of the game. And again, these are little things, right? It's early days, they're little things, but again, it's a breath of fresh air, right? Making changes to actually make sure that you can reclaim an element of control of the game. And that's what we did. We took off Pape Matar Sarr for Perisic, who obviously went onto the left-hand side. And we took off Richarlison for Højbjerg, who obviously slotted into Pape, who I wouldn't even say he slotted into Pape Matar Sarr's role, right? Because when Højbjerg came on, it was like we sort of switched to a 4-2-3 a 4-2-3-1, right? He was still playing much deeper, but with Højbjerg, he doesn't want to take as much risk as a Papi Matar, so he's going to play it safe. And I feel like in that type of game where we just needed to put our foot back on the ball and keep it and control the game, he serves his purpose there, and he did. Helped us slow the game down, keep the ball, and get back that control. And it was the same for Perisic on the left-hand side. Son moved into the middle, Perisic on the left, Kulusevski on the right. All of a sudden, you saw you saw the team that was actually playing some good ball in the first half again, right? That's what you saw, and I'm glad that the manager is able to utilize his squad to that extent. And bearing in mind, these are two players: one who was linked with a move away right at the start of the summer, who looks like he's going to be he's staying now in Perisic, and the other who's linked with a move away to Atletico Madrid. These were two potential want-aways, and they've come on and they've made a contribution into Spurs actually regaining control and then consolidating the 1-0 lead that we established in the first half. So yeah, good subs from Ange. I really like that. I really like that he was able to react well. And then even the second goal. Sorry, I'm babbling on and on. I'm going to get to the comments soon. Even the second goal as well, right? Very well constructed goal again. Perisic releases Destiny on the left-hand side. Destiny then tries to dribble on the inside, plays a quick give and go with Son. Son, first time, bang into Destiny's feet. Destiny stretches, sliding, crosses the ball across the face of goal, and Kulusevski, good run into the box, right? Again, when you break down the goal, so many good things to like about that, right? The connection between Perisic and Destiny, right? The combination play between Son and Destiny, and then the run from Kulusevski as well. Like when we saw Kulusevski under Conte, there's no way he's making that run across the face of goal on that side of the pitch. Impossible. Now he's doing it because he's being instructed to do it. He's being instructed to do it, right? If the ball comes in on the right-hand side, Son is the one that's making those runs on the left-hand side. If the ball comes in on the left-hand side, Kulusevski is making those runs on the right-hand side alongside the number 9, right? There is a mandate that this guy must score more goals this season. He absolutely needs to score more goals this season, and it's good to see that he's making the runs that can allow him to score more goals. I don't think he played well. I think Kulusevski was quite poor, personally. I really do. But I'm happy that he scored, and I felt that gave him a little bit of confidence to sort of take forward for the rest of the game and hopefully for the games to come, right? It was a good day out for Spurs. Clean sheet. I felt there were lots to like. Like my match review is that really. Obviously, Lo Celso came on, Skip came on. Obviously, the manager giving those guys a run out, which is good to see. And we just saw the game out. And to be honest, we could have scored more goals. We could have scored. Perisic did really well on the left-hand side, one chance, and dragged his shot wide. Like it was a good day out. It was a good day out. It really was. I'm just going to go through some comments now just to hear your thoughts, folks, on the performance. Big up Jacko as well. He said VDV and Romero are absolutely incredible. Big up, bro. I hope if this is the real Jacko, thanks for tuning in. Lesego says, I'm really worried about this. We'll talk about Brennan Johnson after. You know what? Let me just start that, right? We'll talk about Brennan Johnson after. Aaron says, I'm loving our midfield 3 right now. Arif says, Big Ange has arrived. We might already be in phase 3. I don't know about any of these phases. It's early days. Let's calm now. Aaron says, Richarlison surely has to get dropped now. He's really getting on my nerves now. I want to see his son up top with either Perisic or Solomon on the left. I think it's a damning indictment on Richie that the mess that ensued in the second half, it's not just down to him because we were losing control, but in terms of the cohesion, the offensive cohesion, it was much better when he went off the pitch. It really was. And that's a damning indictment on Richarlison. It was. Let's see. Dully says, even Van de Ven was beating a couple man with the ball. Ash says, your midfield 3 is class. Your front 3 stinks. Interesting. 24Z says, yeah, Basuma sent my man to the chippy. Okay, let's see. What else? Jack Clement says, bro, you're never going to dominate a game away from home for 90 minutes. Home team always. Yeah, I'm not saying that we should dominate a game for 90 minutes on a whole. I'm praising the manager for noticing that we were losing control of the game and made changes to re-establish control. Yeah. Let's see. DVV says that Perisic and Udogie link-up looks so good every time they play. Destiny is, yeah, man. That boy is special, man. That boy is special. Hope Gaming says, I feel Richie definitely feels like R9 when he puts on the Brazil shirt. I think he's just traumatized by Conte and the disallowed goals. Such a contrast. Kulu was poured on Richie. I mean, Kulusevski scored. So there's that. He didn't fluff his chance. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Let's talk on the positives. I mean, let's talk on the positives. I'll be quick with this one. Let's talk on the positives. So the positives, listen, very few negatives in this game, but I will talk on the negatives after. The positives, for me, one of the best things about this was like high chance creation. Like we looked like a team who could score at will against Bournemouth, right? Even with some of our attack faltering. We have multiple avenues now, or we're looking like it's early days, but it looks as if there are multiple avenues to scoring. We're not so dependent on set pieces. Deep block, high pressing, mid block. It seems as if Ange Postecoglou is helping us to create ways to actually infiltrate the opposition's box all over the pitch. Our first goal came from the right-hand side of our team. Our second goal came from the left-hand side of our team. Our chance creation, you saw Maddison slip through Richarlison from the central area. You saw him deliver a corner that Richarlison missed. You saw the chance that was constructed for Papi Matasar in the first half from the left-hand side, right? There are multiple avenues to create chances now, which has been a big concern for Spurs over the last year or so. Like, we just looked so starved of chance creation. Like, it was scary. And now, much more fluid. Much more fluid. So, and then I feel like one of the big concerns, and listen, it's early days, so we still need to see how the team will fare when the tougher tests come. When players are off form, when we pick up injuries, etc., etc. But we've lost our talismanic striker, the best player I've seen play for Spurs in the Premier League era, in terms of his performance, not in terms of talent, in terms of his performance and output. And Spurs have already got 5 different scorers this season, right? We've had Papi Matasar score. We've had Maddison now score. We've had Romero score. We've had Emerson score. We've had, who else have we had score? Kulusevski score. So we've had 2 defenders score, 2 midfielders score, and 1 attacker score. So the load is being shared. Like the spread of responsibility in the absence of Harry Kane is being shared, and the chance creation is getting better and better. So it's positive signs. It is positive signs for me personally. I feel like there's a good little partnership developing with Romero and Mickey van de Ven. It's early days, but I like it. Right? Romero, start as you mean to go on. If you start as you mean to go on, yeah, this needs to be how you perform throughout the season, right? Romero is, as you guys know, this is someone who I rate a lot. I think he's a quality centre back on his day, and I've always felt this. And last season was really poor, really poor showing from him. But this season so far, he started off really well. I feel like obviously there's still work to improve upon. Sometimes he's still too rash. Sometimes he's still taking ages to release the ball. Sometimes he's a bit too lax in possession, but I'm enjoying the partnership that's beginning to develop between him and Mickey van der Ven. I think Romero being the aggressor, Mickey being the more withdrawn centre back, both comfortable with the ball, playing out from the back. I think their strengths complement each other well. And I think behind them as well, I was really happy with Vicario again. And I really hope that we can see more and more performances like this from the keeper. I felt like this week was a different type of performance to Man United. Man United was more about what can you do in a traditional sense, i.e. saving shots. And he saved a lot of shots against Man United. He did. He was big for Spurs. He was big for Spurs. But against Bournemouth, I felt like we saw a side to Vicario that we've been asking for Lloris for years. How calm are you in possession? Bournemouth were pressing high. And this guy was able to play passes on his left foot, on his right foot. Didn't panic when he was being given, when he didn't panic when he received the ball and Bournemouth players were converging on him. He would just try and find his pass. There were a couple of times where he did go long and he did find players, and it was just the case of some of the players not winning their duels, but accomplished performance from Romero from Vicario, right? From Vicario. I was happy with his performance, and I feel like he's grown in confidence. I still think it's early days, right? I don't know Vicario's level. I can only go off what I was told, right? I was told that this guy was highly rated in Italy, right? But that's Italy. Now he's in the Prem. 3 games in. First game, I thought he was okay with some shaky moments against Brentford. Second game against United, I thought he was very good. Third game against Bournemouth, I thought he was good on the ball. And I thought he was good for different reasons than I did for Man United. So I hope that these performances continue, and I hope that he does actually be a reliable and dependable goalkeeper for Tottenham. So let's see. Let's see. What else? I've spoken on the manager's changes. I liked how he was able to react to the poorest part of our game against Bournemouth and make changes to re-establish control. I'm liking Pedro Porro at right back for Ange Postecoglou. Again, it's early days. I have to caveat this with everything I'm saying because I don't want people to listen to this and say, oh my God, Tobs is so gassed. No, I'm not, right? We're not perfect. We're not perfect, as you saw in the second half. We still need more reinforcements. We still need time to gel as a team and get used to this way of playing. But Pedro Porro, I don't think he put a foot wrong against Bournemouth. Really enjoying him in this right back row. I think this is 2 back-to-back strong performances. And then, of course, Basuma. Basuma is just Basuma, man, at this point. Like he's just a baller, man. He's just a baller. Proper baller, man. Honestly, like, what can I say about him? Tenacious in the tackle, good at tracking runners, good in the counter press, really good dribbler, so good at ghosting past players. Like, the guy is just a baller. He is a quality player. Pape Matar Sarr, he's a talent, man. I'm happy he got the assist. This is 2 goal contributions in 2 games. I did feel like at times he was sloppy against Bournemouth, but he's young. He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old, and I feel like he's been a significant net positive for Tottenham so far this season. So, yeah, man, he's ticking along. And Maddison, Maddison, what can I say about this guy, man? What can I say about this guy? Honestly, anyone who's been watching my content since I've been doing YouTube knows how much I rate this guy. He's just sensational, man. He is sensational. That's why I didn't even entertain the debates in the summer about, who's the better player out of Maddison, Mount, and Havertz and stuff. There's no point entertaining it. I have eyes, and people should just use their eyes. I've been watching this guy for the last 5 years in the Premier League, and I know a baller when I see one. I remember this guy for Norwich, summer 2018, right? Spurs were in for Grealish, and back then I didn't really rate Grealish. I thought Grealish was quite average. Obviously, the egg was on my face because Jack Grealish went on to be a fantastic player for Aston Villa, right? But summer 2018, I was saying, why are we in for Grealish? And why are we willing to pay 30 million when James Maddison is right there and he'd only cost you 22 million? The guy is just a supreme baller. And there's so many myths that he's dispelling. I was told that he doesn't work hard. That's a lie. He works hard. I was told, oh no, he can't offer a team much. He can't offer a team that much control. He's a high risk passer. Nope, he does both. He can play the high risk passes, and as you saw against Bournemouth and against Man United, when he wants to drop deep and when he wants to drop deep, not only can he drop deep and pull strings from a deeper position, but he's actually proven that he can even carry the ball for Spurs. How many times have we seen him in the first 3 games where he's had the ball and picked it up from near our own box and he's drove with the ball into the opposition's half? The guy is just excellent, man. Set pieces, dribbling, shooting, passing, ball mastery. The guy is he just oozes quality. Hands down, the best signing Tottenham will make this summer. Hands down, without contest. Hands down, the best signing Tottenham will make this summer, and one of the best signings that we would have made in years. Like, you don't even understand how happy I was when we got that deal over the line. The guy, he's sensational, man. He is sensational, and he, make no mistake, will make Tottenham better. No matter where we finish, where we were without Maddison will be better. Where we were without Maddison will be nowhere near as good as where we are with James Maddison. That's a fact. Right? Supreme baller. Don't tell me about no tackling and all of this nonsense. I don't care about any of that shit. What can he do for me when he's on the ball and you see it? Baller. Deservedly got man of the match as well. You see his impact in the first 3 games. Superb player. Superb. Honestly. Superb player. Destiny as well. Destiny Adogi. Bruv. This kid. I almost want to temper my expectations, right? I don't want to put too much pressure on him. That's why I'm not going over the top and saying, oh my God, he's better than this and he's this, that, and the third. I'm just going off what I can see. And what I can see is a serious player right now. If this is what we have to look forward to for the rest of the season and the years to come, how quickly he's settled into life at Spurs, how quickly he's taken to the manager's instructions, how quickly he's acclimatized to Premier League ball. He's so strong, can't really knock him off the ball. So composed in tight spaces, very good at combining with players, got the P&P to ghost past players, got pace. Bruv, the guy's 20 years old. Nah, man. Nah. Paratici, you know what? Fair play for that signing, because he's looking like a real gem of a pickup, honestly. And I just gotta hope and pray that shit continues, because boy, if it continues, we really have a serious player on our hands. We do. Like, I don't think it needs to be said, but he absolutely blows all our other left back options out the water. There is no comparison to Destiny and Cess. There is no comparison to Destiny and Reguilon. There is no comparison to Davies. That's my concern. My concern is that the drop-off in quality from Destiny to our other 3 options is scary. It is absolutely staggering. And I know that Ben Davies came on against Bournemouth and he was playing some decent passes and stuff, but let's just talk real. Let's talk real ball, right? The gap and the chasm in quality is scary. It's absolutely scary, right? I'm sort of worried. When he went down injured, and obviously I've not heard anything since, but they're saying that it was like a head injury, so it wasn't anything to do with his legs or anything, which is good, right? But when he went off injured, I was like, oh crap, man, crap, because I'm like, like, I'm just trying to think who can do who can do the job that Destiny's doing for us at the moment, and I'm coming up empty. No one. Well, it looks like it's obviously going to be Ben Davies that's going to play backup for Destiny. And you know what? I would have happily sold Ben Davies this summer, but if the manager wants to keep him, Ben Davies, just be responsible defensively. I think at the very least I can give him that. Like, defensively, I would say he's more responsible than than Cesc and Reguilon. It's just his passing and his technical quality. His is just not there, right? But anyway, that's on Destiny, man. Like really good. I felt like Son had a quiet game in the first half, right? But second half, I felt like he was doing some really good things when he went into the central part of the pitch, right? And I felt like there's 2 weeks on the trot. Like Son actually looks good when he's being deployed central. He looked good against United, and he looked good when he was being deployed central against Bournemouth, right? And I feel like that's a sign of things to come for Tottenham. I really do. I really do. Yeah, and I guess that's literally the positives for me. Let me just go through some chats quickly before I get to the negatives, and then we'll end the stream, and then I'll let you lot get back to your bank holiday Monday plans. This guy, man, he's had 24 hours from hell. He bless him. He's had 24 hours from hell. He's been attacked from all angles, and you know what? One of those angles, I felt sorry for him, but the other angle, you know what? You can hold that. Yeah, you can hold that. Hold that. Yeah, hold that, Skullfuggery. Hope Gaming says Udogi's defensive skills as well. He's calmly sheeping opponents. Yeah, man. You're not really beating him at the moment. And listen, it's 3 games. He's going to come up against tougher opposition, right? Who's he played? So far, he's played Anthony. In fact, tell a lie. Semenyo, I think, is decent. So he did well against Semenyo. Mbeumo is good. I think he did well against Mbeumo. To be fair, yeah, he's coming up against some decent opponents there, right? Okay. Big up Kinops United. He says, "Hey Tobs, I'm a United fan, but very happy to see what y'all got going on. Big up. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Let's see. Hope Gaming says Paratici, ID, Benton Court, Udogi, Romero, Sarr probably saved us like 250 million in today's market. Yeah, man. Listen, I've always said it. That's why my criticism for Conte was harsher last season, right? Because I didn't think that the players that Spurs brought in last summer were bad signings, with exception of maybe 2, right? I thought Richarlison was a good signing. I thought who else did we sign in the summer? I thought Perisic was a good signing. I'm trying to remember who else we signed. Gosh, who did we sign last summer? Yeah, I can't even remember, but we signed some good players. I thought Basuma was a fantastic signing. Like, we signed some good players under Paratici. We did. My problem with Paratici was his managerial ID outside of Conte was scary. Nuno, Gattuso, and eventually Conte ended up being a villain for Spurs. And then I just didn't like the fact that he was a criminal. Why do I want a criminal at Spurs? Someone who can like put us at jeopardy for your dodgy dealings. So yeah, but signings wise, Paratici's record is strong, I would say, right? We got Kulusevski in there as well. We've got, who else did we have in there? We got, so yeah, Destiny, Kulusevski, Romero, Sarr, Bentancur, Basuma. Nobody's saying that those are bad signings. Of course, unknowingly, you then got like your Emersons, who I feel like Spurs could have done better with. You got your Jed Spence, who didn't really get given an opportunity, but you've also got Pedro Porro. You've got who else you got? Pedro Porro, who looks good. You've got who else am I missing? Brian Hill, who isn't really cutting it at the moment, but has got some talent. Like there's a couple. There's a couple. So talent ID wise, fair. I'll give Paratici that. I will. Anyway, let's get onto the negatives. So I'm gonna keep it quick. Here. Richarlison. Oy vey. I don't know whether he's in his head too much or whether he just can't hang at this level, but bruv, that is scary, man. You cannot play like that, man. That is scary. And I get it. I love that the manager's sticking up for him. I love that Maddison's sticking up for him. And rightly so. I think the people behind the scenes, they're working with him closely. So they don't see what we see as fans. They see more, right? They might see him working harder in training, scoring goals in training, and it's just not clicking on the football pitch yet, right? But as far as his performances are concerned, this is the end times. I'm sorry. You have to get it together. You absolutely have to get it together. I get that it's 3 games, and I understand he'll be given more time. And fair enough, rightly so. I feel like 3 games is not enough to sort of for Ange to come to the conclusion that this guy ain't it for Spurs. But he's looking like he's not it for Spurs. Like he's looking like he's not it for Spurs, and I'm losing my patience with Richarlison fast. I really am, because the guy absolutely stinks. You're fumbling the ball in build-up. You're missing gilt-edged chances. You're not keeping the ball well enough, right? You just got to do better. Just got to do better. He needs to get on the wavelength for the rest of the players, right? I've said it a million times. You are going to be given ample rope this season, Richarlison. You're going to be given ample rope, not by the fans, right? Because I feel like a lot of fans have already discarded Richie. I'm still clinging on. I'm not discarding him just yet, but it's worrying. It's worrying, and I'm losing patience fast. However, he's going to be given a lot of rope by the manager, right? And if reports are to be true, Spurs are not going to bring in another striker this season. They're going to look to bring in another wide man, which means that, let's be real, it's going to be Richarlison and Son competing to play in those central roles. So you're going to be given rope. Whether you want to choose to climb up that rope and reach the promised land being this guy actually scoring goals for Tottenham, or hang yourself with that rope and keep missing chances, keep botching moves, right? Keep being a disruptive presence to the team and how we want to play. If that continues, then his future at Spurs will be short. It will be short. So the ball is in Richarlison's court, because these performances, they're just not good enough. I'm sorry, they're not good enough. How many excuses can I give this guy? Be better. Score goals, right? Take chances. Yeah? Be more aggressive off the ball. Yeah? Let your opponents know that you're there. Be better in build-up. Do these things. Listen, I don't know what more I can say on him, because he looks absolutely shit right now. He looks awful. He looks like an absolute scrub right now for Tottenham. Like, you are not this bad. I didn't see this bad a player at Everton. So what is going on here? Like, I don't get it. The guy absolutely stinks. Stinks. Get it together, man. Honestly. My support for Richarlison is still there, but it's dwindling fast, man. It's dwindling. There's only so much blind faith you can give someone. Right? We're on game week 3. Right? We got game week 4 against Burnley. He's probably going to start that game. Right? And then we got international break. He'll go to Brazil. He'll have his chin wag with the lads, etc., etc. After the international break, we got Sheffield United at home. Should be a confidence booster for you, right? And then we got Arsenal away. Do we know if he's going to start in Arsenal away? Up top. Then we got Liverpool at home. There are some big fixtures coming up, and we need this guy to be in a good position to actually help us. Like, a bad Richarlison does Spurs no favors here, right? As bad as people think he is and stuff, we need him to do well. We absolutely need this guy to do well. So please, Richarlison, please rise. Word to Cams. Please just rise and take your opportunity. Kulusevski, good opportunism for the goal, right? And his confidence grew after he scored the goal. But again, I need to see more from Kulusevski. I really do, right? The goal for me was a good team move, but it won't mask the fact that his performance in the 90 was still not good enough to my liking. And I know it's 3 games. I know. And I expect that these players will get better. But the reason why I'm mentioning these guys is because they were 2 underperformers from last season. And it feels like we're still waiting. We're still waiting for that Kulusevski performance. I'm still waiting for the real Kulusevski. Right? We need to see that guy come out to the forefront. We need to see the real Richarlison come out to the forefront, right? Even Son, who was really bad against Brentford, he's picked up in the last 2 games. He has. So we need to see it. We've got the League Cup game tomorrow against Fulham. Should be a good opportunity for some of the guys who haven't played to come into the team. Apparently, people are saying in the comments that Ange has confirmed the Celso is going to start. I expect that. I mean, these are the type of games where he wants to trust the likes of Lo Celso. And as per Ange's comments, he doesn't care who we're playing. He just wants to win. He literally said doesn't care whether we're playing in a car park, doesn't care where it is, who it is. He wants to win. It's a game that he sees as high importance because he wants to win every game. Yeah. So if Richarlison starts, take your chance. Take your chance. See what you can do against Fulham. If not, then be ready to be called upon for Burnley, and you take your chance on the weekend. Kulusevski, if you start, I want to see more. I want to see more. Right? It'll be interesting to see who Ange goes with up top this game because Dane Scarlett is still there as well. Or maybe he might play Son through the middle. I don't know. I don't know how many changes he wants to make. We'll see. But I'm actually going to that game tomorrow as well. I'm looking forward to it. My second game this season, my first away game of the season. I didn't go to Bournemouth, didn't go to Brentford, right? But let's see. Let's see, man. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can go there, we can impose ourselves, and we can get past the tough test that is Fulham, because Fulham's not going to be easy. Marcus Silva's got that team organized. They're very organized side, and I feel like they can play some good stuff at their ground as well. Yeah. So let's see what we can do, man, because I feel we absolutely need to take competitions like the League Cup with the utmost importance this season. We need to win silverware. I'd like to see appearances for Solomon, for Perisic, for sure. I feel like we should still keep Basuma in the side. I don't really want to break up the centre-back partnership. I know that obviously we need to rotate and stuff, but don't really want to break up the centre-back partnership. But I imagine that he might bring in like an Emerson or a Davies or whatever. So we'll see. We'll see what team he plays. But people, I'm going to end the stream here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Spurs tomorrow. Hopefully we can edge it, and hopefully we can get ourselves through to the next round of the League Cup. If you're there at the game tomorrow and you see me, shout me. We can have a chat. We can have a good little chinwag on Spurs. Folks who have been tuning in since the start, please make sure you smash the like button. Thank you for your views. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your contribution into the discussion at hand. As I said, make sure you turn your post notifications on. Myself and Fuad will be going live later today for the THFC show. That will be from 4 to 5 p.m. on Fuad's channel. So make sure you are there. You don't want to miss that one. So, yeah, look out for that this afternoon, and look out for my pre-match preview on Friday when I preview the Brentford. I keep getting all these teams starting with a B mixed up. We played Brentford, Bournemouth. Now we're playing Burnley preview. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Enoch out. Up the Spurs. Take care, people. Peace.